GDP reveals ominous Great Depression warning sign not seen since 1932. Okay, a GDP report is saying that a Great Depression warning sign not seen since 1932. Here's what it is. Even the areas that which contributed positively to GDP are not necessarily signs of prosperity. For example, business investment grew at only 1.4% in the fourth quarter, but that was almost entirely inventory growth. Non-residential investment, a key driver of future economic growth, was only up 0.7%. Meanwhile, residential investment fell off a cliff, dropping 26.7% as consumers were unable to afford the combination of high home prices, high interest rates, and falling real incomes. But perhaps most troubling is the precipitous drop in real disposable income, which fell over $1 trillion in 2022. For context, this is the second largest percentage drop in real disposable income ever, behind only 1932, the worst year of the Great Depression. To keep up with inflation, consumers are now depleting their savings and burning through the stimulus checks they received during 2020 and 2021. That is the one thing that I don't think enough people are talking about. You can look at everything that's good, and you can say, well, look at what's going on here, look at what's going on there. But when people run out of savings, something happens to them. And gradually, our savings has gone from $2.1 trillion, down $8 trillion in savings to $1.2 trillion. That's like you having $20,000, now you got $10,000. It's not crazy yet, but you're thinking about it, okay? And for those who were kind of sitting there being greedy and say, well, let me tell you, here's what I'm not going to sell this for this price. Sales are coming in the next 2 quarters. Sales are coming in the next 2 quarters.
And the credit card balances, I mean, you tweeted it out. And
record,
you also
$940 billion. Yeah, $940 billion. We were talking about it. You and I sat down before the Clay and the Buck show that we had. Clay Travis, those guys do a great job. But, and by the way, do you remember, I don't know if you remember this, maybe you will, when we were doing podcasts and you said, Pat, I'm all about save that money. Look what's happened ever since we give the stimulus checks. People are paying off their credit card debt. Americans are saving 27%, record-breaking. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
this was a month. This is so Biden's inauguration is when? January 2021. January, yeah. March, they announced the $1.9 trillion. In April, the savings rate in America hits 27%. When is the last time we saved 27%? 27%. You know what the savings rate is right now? 2.4%.
Holy shit.
By the way, lowest it's been in 17 years. Lowest it's been in 17 years. So you know what 17 is? 17 is not even 2008 crash. 17 is prior to that. So these are things that will be felt. Somebody the other day on who posted this on? Can you go to Professor Scott Galloway? Go to Professor Scott Galloway's Twitter account. He posted this yesterday, and if you guys know who he is,
he's a beast. He's a beast.
He's a beast, but he also go to his. Okay, it's going to be one of his recent tweets where he talks about the economy is not as bad as people are saying. Man, I hope you can go to it. If you can't go to it, I'm going to read it. There it is right there. Click on that one. That's the one. Zoom in a little bit. Real GDP is up 6.7% under Biden. We gained 4.5 million jobs in 2022. Inflation over the last 6 months is down 2% at an annual rate. Economy is doing better than most Americans think. Okay, now go to the comments. Go to the comments. Zoom in a little bit. Todd Mitchin. Tell that to almost a $4 gas, $9 eggs, $8 milk, out gas, and electric bill that went up 2/3, and the countless increases of massive amounts while literally tens of thousands of people are being laid off at a record pace. I like you, but your comments are wrong. Okay, keep going lower. So what he's saying is he's not feeling it. The other person is saying the average day-to-day person that's shopping, they're feeling it. Here's one thing that happens when you make money. The moment you make money, certain things change. Meaning, a $3 increase isn't felt. Gas prices goes up $2, you won't feel it. You're like, gas, I was filling up my tank at $80, now it's $110. Okay, who cares? Just $30. This thing that we were paying this much money for, shopping's gone up every month, $200. It's not a big deal. It's $200. Two-person making money is not a big deal.
Of course.
Two-person that's making $55,000 a year or is making $82,000 trying to take care of their husband and wife and 3 kids, yeah, they're going to feel it. So the real pain is felt by the people, and their savings is down, their confidence is down. You feel it when you talk to them.
They're out of touch, Pat. Like all the late night hacks, remember when the Putin price, all that Putin, they're like, I'll happily pay, $5 more or whatever a gallon just to spit in Putin's face. Like, okay, rich guy in the bubble. What about us? What about the little guy? That's not, you know what I mean? I can do like gas in LA right now. I saw a thing, Pat, 7 some. I'm like, how are you guys living in California right now with the gas that much, and you have to drive an hour and a half every single day to work?
By the way, you know how they say Republicans, all they care about is they want to take care of their oil people is what they want to do. This is all they want to do. Really? Okay. Do you know, go to this article, Wall Street Journal. I'm going to send it to you right now. Do you know that the oil companies' biggest profitable quarter ever was under what president? Was it under Bush? Was it under Reagan, percentage-wise? Was it under Trump? I mean, it's got to be under Trump,
Clinton?
right? It has to be under Trump, right? Nope. Record-breaking, I just sent it to you right now if you see it. Record-breaking profits for ExxonMobil was under who?
If you had to guess?
The one and only, the GOAT, Joseph Biden.
Oh,
Okay?
serious?
No question about it.
How's that?
Look at the amount of profits these guys are making under a Democratic president, okay? Exxon, go to the top. Exxon vaults to record annual profits of $55.7 billion under who?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden's policies.
How does that happen, Pat?
Well, I mean, obviously, these guys are more noble people, and they would never help the oil companies make more money.
Never.
But they did. As weird as it sounds, this is when sometimes you look at policies and you're like, well, those guys are for those guys. Oh, we would never defend those guys. Oh, we're giving money to help the poor, and this is what we're doing. Really? Your policies is what made America have nearly 10 people that are worth $100 billion, because when you gave your trillions of dollars to the poor people or middle America, all they did is went and gave the money to the corporations, and they spent the money. So emotionally, somebody may say, well, this is great. I mean, we're doing the right thing, such a noble thing. Yeah, the problem is, people still don't know how to save. The problem is people still don't know how money works. The problem is people still don't know the basic fundamentals of things that you do to manage your finances. They still don't know that you give them more money, they're going to spend it.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see that, Pat, and especially with the administration's push on green and no fracking and no nothing. How is that? That's crazy to see that they're making.
That's a record.
Vaulted. They didn't say jump. Vaulted to 55. That's insane.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, they should go.
Get
They
it.
should. Biden and the Democrats should go to the oil companies and saying, "Listen, guys, support us next year. We're going to make you more money. Look how much we've done for you."
Yeah.
So
go green, go greener.
Yeah.
We're gonna get richer.
They announced it. You know how U-Haul announced the MVP of the year was Newsom?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
did you hear at their annual convention? No. Annual convention, MVP of the year, Joseph Biden. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, it should be.
That's
Go ahead.
hilarious.
No, if you listen to the administration, you see a lot of these stats that come out that no one in the media, words are words until real numbers show up and then prove them false. And all of this stuff, like on the number of jobs there, you saw one of the responses there was to it. Biden saying, we've created all these jobs. No, he didn't create all these jobs. It was basically, if you take a look at restaurants and hospitality, and by the way, part of the American savings rate, Pat, we all know this, is Americans couldn't travel in 2001, couldn't go out to a dinner, couldn't go even for, date night out of town to a little spa that you could afford maybe or something with your wife. You were inside. So it was kind of like savings by default a little bit because the personal, as you like to say, the F&B budget had been, held up by the lockdown. But Biden goes out and says, hey, I've created all these jobs, da, 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 da. No, it's not. It's all these people are coming back. All the hospitality workers that were basically furloughed came back to their hospitality jobs. That's not a new job. It would be like this. Me and the BizDoc babe have some trouble. So we agree to get counseling, and we do a little separation for 3 months while we get counseling. Then on her birthday, we announce that we're back together. And I walk into a room full of people and say, hi, I'd like you to meet my new wife. That is what Biden is just doing with the jobs report.
That's hilarious. Tom.
But yeah. So anyway, so again, you look at the numbers. So one side says things are going to be okay. The other side says we're not going to be in recession. Look at the numbers. What's going to happen? The reality is nobody fully knows what is going on. Okay, everybody's purely speculating, including us. But what Adam said is, where it goes slow, drip, drip. I thought at first he was going to get up and start dancing like he was like doing some kind of a song, but he wasn't.
Drip, drip.
It's going to go, and then all of a sudden, boom, it drops,
Yeah.
and everybody says, holy shit,
Yep.
So, and the opposite can happen as well. Which the opposite, and all of a sudden you wake up, you're like, how the hell did Dow Jones get to 42,000? That is the crazy part about the economy, okay? That's why no one in the history of it has been able to have a 100% track record of guessing what happens next, okay? It's a gamble.
And all this just got highlighted over the last 2-3 years. Market tanks, black swan event, didn't see this happening, shut down, everything's going down. How much did the stock market go down the first 6 months of COVID? 40%, whatever it was. Boom, bounce back, higher than ever, hit 30,000, first time ever.
Yeah.
And we're seeing these wild swings in numbers, personal savings rates higher than it's ever been. A year later, lowest savings rates. I think we're not fully appreciating how fucking insane COVID was from a money standpoint, world shutdown standpoint. Supply chain, I think people get it, but we're finally just kind of trying to make sense of these numbers. And then didn't Biden just announce that as of May 2023, in the next few months, officially we're done? Is that what was that announcement? Did
Well,
you see that?
said it once, but this is the done. This is
We're done.
This is like the Tom Brady retirement again.
Oh, wink, wink.
Oh yeah, again. Yeah, but
So-
I think you're right. It's May. He's like, okay, now it's really done.
Yeah, these wild swings in numbers, I think, should be expected after such a black swan event.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.